I pushed your sweet love away, but you stayed right here beside me, never letting me go. Now I know the love I needed was right here all along. I know that love is enough to forgive all the hurt and pain. Love is enough to remove all the guilt and shame. Love is enough to make up for what shortcomings. I know that love is enough. God's love is enough. God's love is enough. God's love is enough. God's love is enough. Oh, I can't imagine living life without you here with me. So glad this love will last an eternity. Oh, what joy and happiness I feel when I call your name. Now it is plain to see your love for me has helped me sustain. I know that love is enough to forgive all the hurt and pain. Love is enough to remove all the guilt and shame. Love is enough to make up for shortcomings. See, I know that love is enough. God's love is enough. Oh yeah, love is enough. God's 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 love is enough. I know that love is enough. Oh, somebody say love is enough. Everybody come on, let me hear you say love is enough. A love that's gentle, love that's kind. Love is enough. A love that gives me peace of mind. Love is enough. A love is enough to remove all doubt or fear. Love is enough to bring me through any situation. Love is enough to deliver me, to set me free. Love is enough. God's love is enough. I know His love, I know His love. Love is enough. It's a love that's freely given to me. Love is enough. And it's a special kind of love, say love is enough. No greater love have I known. Love is enough. Than to lay down His life for a friend. Love is enough. Now His love is inside me and you. Love is enough. So just spread love, just spread love. Everybody say trying to find a way to escape. Trying to find a way to escape all the pressure I feel growing inside of me, because I'm far away from you, knowing that you are my source. So I gotta find my way back to you, Lord. I've gotta find my way back to you, Lord. I've gotta find my way back to you, Lord. come to the conclusion that you are the eyes that see past all confusion to a place called sanity. You take my hand, I'm free.
Minute 27. One minute.
Truly, the real you loves you. 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 Truly.
All right. Hang on a second here. Come on. All right. Here we are. Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Truly Live. This is actually episode 27.
Yes, it is.
And my name is Oliver Blue, and this beautiful specimen to my right is,
I'm Yolanda.
and we're the OK Blues, and we are here tonight because we are truly the real you. And we love you
Yes.
because the real you is
Love.
real you is love. Thank you so much tonight for being here with us. This is a beautiful Friday. This is the greatest Friday that I have ever known because this is the one that we currently stand in this moment. And boy, we already got some of our friends and families and patrons already dropping in on us. We'd like to give a shout out to Sandra. Sandra was the first one in line tonight.
Hello, Sandra.
Thank you for being on tonight. And thank you, Sue.
Our dear friend and patron, Sue.
Yes, Sue is a friend and a patron.
Oh, thank you, Sue. She said we too are looking lovely this evening.
Well, thank you so
Thank you,
much. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. We appreciate that.
Oh, I didn't press my.
Yeah. So as our friends and patrons and family come in, we just want to, am I messing with your device?
Yes, you're messing with my. It went away.
What are you
Okay.
looking for?
It was my my comments, of course.
Oh, absolutely. Well, we just have already created this space for all of the viewers to come in, and hopefully you've gotten your favorite beverage, you got your cozy blanket and your favorite spot, and just sit down with us for this hour of information, inspiration,
Transformation,
and
empowerment.
empowerment. And it is our
Was
goal.
that a test?
Yeah, it was a test. And it's our goal that all of us leave this space tonight empowered to be to be our real self, the real, who we call the real you, and empowered to step into the life that you would love to live. And tonight's going to be very special because it is the only one that we know right now, and we're going to take full advantage of it.
All right.
And our VIP patrons have dropped into the space. We see Bob and Carol.
Oh, hello. Bob
Yes,
and
all the way
Carol.
from the great state of Indiana.
Yes.
Good to see you both. We feel your presence, and we thank you for being here. If it's just your first time with Truly Live, and you may have stumbled upon our channel or up on our page, you say, well, who are these two beautiful people? Well, I'm a product of the projects of North Carolina, and some way, somehow, the universe orchestrated for me to meet this specimen of a woman next to me. And little did I know she was growed up as a sharecropper. She's a farm girl. She was driving the tractor at age 9 when she couldn't even reach the paddle or the clutch.
That's right.
And but her dad made her into a stellar woman that's capable of doing anything. She's got so many skills. Sometimes
Wow.
I have to just go and sit down.
My dad did all that.
Yeah, Dad did that.
Okay,
Yeah,
Dad.
yeah. Thank you, Papa.
Okay.
But if you just happen up on us, we're Truly Live, a weekly talk program where we our main why are we here is to help people to come into to gain clarity about their true identity, which we call the real you. And our second why is that we love to help others to consider and pursue the results that matter in their life. What would you love? That's a question that we will ask over and over and over again until we get crystal clear about what we would love. This is very important. You know, a builder doesn't go and build a house until he's got those blueprints completed. And we've been talking about blueprinting for pretty much throughout portions of these first 27, 26 episodes. And tonight we're going to kind of move forward a little bit in the transformation process and move to the what we call our next step, which is bridging. And so we're going to be talking about that tonight. So if you are a person of growth, if you are a person that desires to expand your experience, to want to invite more life in, and then you landed in the right spot, in the right space. Because here, you know, our motto is that everyone, we like to let everyone to know that your life has deep meaning and
Good purpose.
and good purpose. And so we share timeless content here, universal principles, transformational practices, and provide this community space. And we bring our entire life to this time, this hour. Our life consists of 31 plus years of marriage. We have raised 3 children and kicked them out of the nest.
We did not pick. They were.
We enticed them to go.
We didn't even entice.
They didn't need much.
Next step in the.
They didn't need much
That
prodding.
was the next step in the forward progression.
They didn't
They
need.
were moving forward.
They didn't need much prodding, and out the door they went, and they never did return. So we've been empty nesters for almost over 10 years, about 10, 11 years. Officially, it became official in 2016, 17? Yeah.
2016.
Yeah, but all 3 of them, when they left and went to college, they never really moved back into the house.
They never moved.
They
back.
never moved back into the house, but officially, that last one didn't establish his own residence and start paying his own way until 2016. So we're so happy and grateful that our kids learned the lessons.
Yes.
And they know what it is to be
Adults.
and I won't say independent, interdependent.
Yes.
And so we're happy about that. And so also, to put icing on the cake, we are a fun-loving, dance-loving couple. And I'm the artist in the group. She's the scientist.
That's what he says.
And you put it all together, and what you get is truly live, and we are all the way live, bringing it to you.
That's what he says. He says that I'm the science part and he's the art, but actually, I'm every woman. It's all in me. See, I did the first song tonight.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, she's learning. She's learning to, I'm cracking her open, y'all.
We do this all the time at home. I just wasn't going to do it on camera.
Yes. So we ask you to lean in tonight into what we're going to be sharing. And let's give a shout outs first.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
So let's do this.
Okay.
So again, we're going to say hello to our patrons.
Yes. Hello to all our
We've
patrons out there.
Acknowledge some of them.
Yeah.
But we want to acknowledge our newest patron.
Yes, our newest patron
Jill.
is Jill, and
Dr. Jill.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
for
Dr.
joining
Jill.
with us.
And what is Sandra saying to us?
Well, first, Sue said she's a farm girl too.
Oh, right.
And I'm going to actually put this up because Sue
What?
said, you don't look old enough to be empty nesters.
Oh,
See,
well,
that's why she's our friend.
It is our reality. Yes.
That's why she's friend.
Yes. Oh, and
Sandra said she agrees.
yes. And look who jumped into space after we called her name.
Dr. Jill.
Dr. Jill.
She said, hi, y'all.
Yes. Yes.
And we want to say hello to our parents, to your mom.
Yes.
Mama Blue.
Mama Blue should be on.
We know that she's watching. She always gets on, and we so appreciate her commitment and her support and her engagement and involvement, because she's taking notes the whole 9 yards. And we're going to say hello to my dad, who I actually saw briefly earlier today. I don't normally do that. I try not to do that on Fridays, but I did run by and see him, and he had a really good day. So
Yes.
happy and grateful for that.
Yes. And I meant to show this.
Okay, that's fine. But so now you can do this part.
Yes. And tonight, we would like to dedicate this episode of Truly Live to to one of my mentors, um, and someone who I have continued to um, study and to be mentored by, mostly virtually. But he has been a giant in this industry of transformation, personal development, and his name is Bob Proctor. Bob was the co-founder of Proctor Gallagher Institute, which is a personal development company. And Bob is known all over the world, has helped millions of people. He's studied transformation for over 50 years. He's one of the early pioneers in this area of personal development. And sadly, I got the news today that Bob had transitioned, and at the age of 87. And so tonight we dedicate this entire program to my friend and mentor, Bob Proctor. And Bob was known for the results that he got, and by learning the system of transformation. And Bob was a Canadian, lived in Canada. He's known. He had several New York Times bestsellers, but his most famous one was "You Were Born Rich," and that was published in 1984. And Bob studied under he studied the book Think and Grow Rich for many, many years. He had his original book. He had over 50 years, and he used that book, studied it so much he had to keep it together by a thick rubber band. And he studied it every day. He studied transformation every day. So tonight we dedicate this entire episode of Truly Live to my friend and mentor, Bob Proctor.
Were you going to show?
I don't have it loaded, so
Oh,
I
okay.
want to be able to.
All right.
Yeah, okay. But anyway, so thank you so much, and flying high, Bob Proctor. Yes, there you go, Sue. I like that. And Carol said, "Thank you, Bob, for all the wisdom." Thank you, Carol and Bob. Yes, what you see here, actually, um, it was Bob that I actually started taking my first virtual classes online, studying transformation. And so it goes all the way back to 2015 for me. And I've been studying his work since then.
Yes.
Going to turn the page to our next segment, and you guys all
Let's just take a deep breath. Let's just pause for a second. Breathe in deep. And when we're breathing in all that is life-giving, all that is uplifting, all that is encouraging, all that is all that we are grateful for.
Yes.
We're breathing in that.
Yes.
And as we release the breath, we're releasing all the blocks to love's awareness.
Yes.
We'll take in one more deep breath. Release the breath, and we're going to just say thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you for that. And there's a reason that we do that. And one of the greatest tools you can put in your life is the pause. And when we pause, we recalibrate, reset, right? It's like resetting the thermostat onto the vibrational level that we choose to operate in. Thank you. Thank you so much for that, honey.
Mm-hmm.
Turning the page to our next segment, we always like to start out our any activity that we do. We like to always come from a place of gratitude. And so we'll take a few moments at the beginning of our broadcast to acknowledge that gratitude is an energetic and vibratory field that shifts everything to the present moment. And one of the simplest ways to do that is to start out your declaration by saying, "I am so happy and grateful now."
So how about you guys write in the comments, what you're happy and grateful for. We'd love to
Yes.
be able to read a few of those as Oliver finishes with the gratitude
Yes.
sharing.
Yes. Please share with us something that you're grateful for. It just helps us to create this space that we love to operate in. Gratitude is simply being in a state of thankfulness, appreciation, and kindness. Gratitude is the attitude that improves the quality of our life.
This is my favorite one. Gratitude hooks us up to the source and supply. This next one is my favorite too.
Gratitude, no, so what, Yolanda and I, or this one? Yolanda and I are happy and grateful now that we are all making intentional decisions in the interest of our growth.
Yes, yes. All right, so let's see. What are you guys happy for, happy and grateful for?
I have one here. I have a new one. It says, we promise to allow gratitude to be our attitude.
Love it. I love it.
Yes.
So I'm going to do a couple. Our dear friend and patron Sue says, I'm happy and grateful that my part-time job is coming to an end and I'm moving on to something more purposeful. Congratulations, Sue.
Congratulations, Sue.
We're happy and grateful with you. Outstanding. And Bob and Carol said, they said, we are happy and grateful now that every day is the first day of the rest of our lives. Oh, I love that.
Yes.
Wow, that's good.
Absolutely.
And Sandra Ortiz says, first of all, I'm grateful for the both of you with Sawyer, in her family. Oh, thank you so much. We're happy and grateful for you all too.
Yes.
All right, so Oliver, that's what I'm happy and grateful for.
And we have another one of our patrons that have come into the
yes,
space.
Hello, Sheila Johnson.
Hello, Sheila.
Monroe Johnson. That's another patron. She says, I'm grateful for good health.
Yes.
I stand in agreement with you there.
Yes.
I'm happy and grateful that all of these lovely people have decided to join with us
Yes.
as we all stay on our growing edge together.
Yes, and I'll drink to that.
You'll drink to that? I'm also happy and grateful that I got to take care of my grandson this past weekend.
Yes.
And boy, is he full of all kinds of new stuff.
Oh my goodness.
He was climbing everything.
Yes. Our grandson is amazing.
Yes, he is. Yes,
and we love it. We love his energy. We love his innocence. We love his.
I love his singing. He sang so much this weekend as he was pushing the Swiffer broom, the little Swiffer mop, the dry one, and he was just singing. His song was "The Wheels on the Bus Go Round and Round."
Yes.
And boy, he was singing and sweeping. That was just wow.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right.
I'm gonna put this one. I'm gonna put one more up.
Is that Jill?
Yes, our patron Jill said she's happy and grateful for contentment.
Oh, yes.
Wow, there's so much to be said in that.
Yes.
Outstanding.
Yes. Thank you so much, Jill.
And I forgot to hit the button here. Wow.
All right. Well, while she works with that technology over there, we're going to go.
It's supposed to be beforehand.
We're going to go into our next segment. So come on and go with us. And this next segment has to do with inspiration and encouragement. And we always like to include in our program inspiration and encouragement statements from around the universe, from different places. And tonight we chose a inspirational quote from, since we are honoring and dedicating to Bob tonight. So we actually have a quote that came out today from Sandy Gallagher, which was his co-founder and partner, because it's Proctor Gallagher Institute. And so Gallagher is the other partner. Her name is Sandy Gallagher. And she made this statement today, and I thought it was fitting that we share it. And it says, We intend to play a significant role in creating a world in which true wealth, which is spiritual, material, and intellectual, flows to, through, and from every person in an ever expanding, never ending cycle of abundance.
Wow.
Yes, that is their mission as an organization. And I love this statement because she really defines what true wealth is.
Yes.
She said true wealth is a combination of spiritual, material, and intellectual substance. And it flows through in an ever expanding, never ending cycle of abundance. And that's the life that I'm sure all of us would love to experience.
Yes.
And so that is our goal, and that's our inspiration and encouragement segment. So it's time to jump on into the main event.
All right.
Yes, the main event tonight, which is always our truly life lessons. And Yolanda and I have always been students of growth, right?
Yes.
Students of growth. And this month, we're going to continue our emphasis in the area of wellness. And just as a recap, we define wellness. Or Merriam-Webster did, as the quality or state of being in good health, especially as an actively sought goal.
Yes.
And then we picked up on some synonyms of the word of what wellness is. In other words, that which amplifies the word. And we have fitness,
Health,
healthiness,
hardiness,
robustness,
sap,
soundness,
verdure,
wholeness.
wholesomeness.
And all of these terms are synonymous to what wellness is. But what I really like about Webster's definition is the fact that it says it is especially wellness itself, especially when it's an active sought goal. In other words, wellness, like anything in life, has to be it has to be not only a goal, but it has to be sought after. So that means that there's some part that we play in the amount of wellness that we experience in life.
Well, while we're in the state of practicing, yes, it is a sought after goal.
Yes,
Because the goal is to get to the point that we are just going to be
yes,
who we truly are. And so
absolutely.
we won't have to continue to seek and strive and all that kind of
Absolutely, absolutely. And then we said wellness begins in our mind.
stuff. Oh, wow.
That's the starting point of wellness. And
Hold on.
okay,
hold on.
what do we got here?
Catherine Blue says, I am happy and grateful for my entire family of love.
Oh, thank you, mother.
She's in here and she made
Now,
a
all
comment.
right. Well, thank
Hello.
you, mother. Thank you for leaning in and participating. And we appreciate your presence.
Yes.
Oh my God. You see this big smile just come up on my face? Yes, I got a smile up on my face
Yes.
because my mommy
Oh,
is
my
in
goodness.
this place.
He's a mama's boy.
I'm a
y'all.
mama's boy, and I don't
Always
deny it.
has
That's
been.
right. I love my mother.
Always has been, and there's nothing wrong with loving your mama.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then we went on to say that wellness began in our minds,
Yes.
what we think and how we think. I've been doing a series of teaching on, renewing the mind and all week long. And I'm telling you, it is one thing to think, but it's another thing to know how to think.
Yes.
And so we have to learn how to think, in service to our true self, our true
Yes.
nature.
Yes.
And so
And
that
what we would love.
and what we would love.
Yes.
So again, that becomes a discipline. First, we have to know that we can do it, and then we have to, expose ourselves to the learning of how to think and the thinking in alignment with that which we would love. Do you have an intentional perception about what you would love, where wellness is concerned? So we watched a video a couple of weeks ago. We were all in the vision workshop, and in that one video, it says, "How can you hit a target that you do not have?" So there always has to be a goal or a vision, and
a direction.
A direction,
A
right.
direction
Yeah.
is a good way.
Right, because we talked about the fact that we live in a very energetic field, and everything is energy, and we are the directors, the orchestrators of that energy. The energy will obey us.
Yes.
So we have to determine where that energy goes, and that is determined by our attention. Where are we placing our attention? What are we noticing? And so these are all nuggets that we've shared.
And what are we doing with what we have,
From
where
we are with what? Yes.
right now?
Yes. What are we doing?
What are we doing?
What are we doing to take that energy and direct it into something beautiful that we love?
Yes.
And again, if you was in that workshop, we helped you guys walk you through the process of designing a dream that you would love.
And a few of you actually
Yes.
took us up on the offer of having a complimentary calibration session.
Yes.
And so we got to spend some time with some patrons,
Yes.
and some viewers, because we opened this up to viewers too.
Yes.
And that were in the vision workshop. And so we actually got to go through that exercise and spend some quality time with some people.
Because it's very important that we are crystal clear
Yes.
on what we would love.
And some of you were crystal clear.
Yes.
I mean, it was so exciting.
Absolutely.
You painted these details full of specificity, to the point that I could see what you were saying. And it was just so incredibly energizing. It was wonderful.
Absolutely. And if you attended that workshop, and I think we still have the invitation open if you want to consider one of our complimentary calibration sessions. That's still open to you if you attended the workshop. So, and you can do that easily and I'll share that with you at the end of the broadcast. So
Sue says that she has our patron Sue says she has an intentional perception of what she would love where her wellness is concerned, and that's that she's going to be the most fit and healthy 65-year young woman on this planet.
All right.
Go Sue.
Go Sue. So we're here to support you in that.
Yes.
And actually, we're going to have a guest in a couple of weeks that will support that dream that you have, that reality that you have.
We'll assist with that.
We're going to have a mindfulness and master yoga coach here on the 18th of this month. And so you don't want to miss that. You don't want to miss that.
Well, without a vision for wellness, how will we know how to align our thinking? And that's what our visions are for. Our visions, having clarity about the things that we would love, helps with our decision making.
Absolutely.
It helps us to not just redeem time; it helps us not to lose time.
Absolutely, it helps us to compress time. And last week, if you remember, we identified what we believe to be the one main cause for us having blocks to wellness. And as we've said for almost 26 weeks, it is all about our thinking. It's all about the way we think, because the way we think is the beginning of our experience.
Yes.
Because thoughts have energy, and those thoughts eventually, when paired with emotions,
yes,
they thoughts cause emotional reaction in us, and when that emotion gives what is a vibration, right, and it energizes that thought, and then eventually we will it would influence our actions.
Yes.
And when our actions basically are our results, determined our results are determined by our actions. And so very important that we understand that process, that everything begins in our thoughts and in
So
our
that
mind.
was a little mini teaching that you did there. You said thoughts
Yes. Emo-
lead,
to
are paired with emotion,
rest.
leads to action,
Yes.
which brings about our
Results.
results.
Yes. Absolutely. That is the process.
That's the process.
And we teach that in our system of transformation. Going to turn the subject a little bit away from the past discussion on wellness. Tonight, we want to talk a little bit about support, because support is so important in this transformational experience that we're having. We are transformational coaches, and we teach a system of transformation to our clients. And we share transformational principles here on Truly Live because we are convinced that this repeatable, this is a system that can be repeated. It's been proven to be reliable,
Yes.
and that anyone, if like Henry David Thoreau says, that through his experiment with life, he said that if anyone,
Yes.
so that includes everyone, that if anyone would move in the direction of their dreams,
Yes.
right, that at the least, they will experience the dream. They
Yes.
will experience the vision. If anyone will move in the direction of their dream. Well, you want to read that for us, babe?
He said,
I
I
love
learned this at least by my experiment.
Go ahead.
That if one advances confidently in the direction of his dreams and endeavors to live the life which he has imagined.
And that life that is imagined is the answer to the question,
Yes.
What would you love? And so if you endeavor to move in the direction of what you would love, he put it very succinctly here. Go ahead, baby.
I'm going to start over. That if one advances confidently in the direction of his dreams and endeavors to live the life which he has imagined, he will meet with a success unexpected in common hours. He will put some things behind, will pass an invisible boundary. New, universal, and more liberal laws will begin to establish themselves around and within him, or the old laws may be expanded and interpreted in his favor in a more liberal sense, and he will live with the license of a higher order of beings. I love that.
I love it.
Yeah.
In fact, we're going to do an entire workshop just on that quote, because contained within that quote is a system of transformation.
Yes.
And it is coded to where we could take it. We're going to break it down. We're going to break each one of those sentences down and show you a system of transformation within that quote. He talks about that when we move confidently, and the reason we can move confidently is because we are confident about how the laws of this universe work, and we can be confident that they will work every time, and that we will eventually pass an invisible barrier. And that gets into a lot of awareness, because just beyond what we think we know, just beyond our past experiences, just on the other side of that is the experience that you desire.
Yes.
But we have to pass through it. You can't go around it. You go through it, because you come to realize that you are really the power in your life. You are really the final authority in your life. You are. No one else is. Doesn't matter what anyone thinks. Doesn't matter where you come from. This girl came from a farm. She's a farm girl, but she learned a lot of things because she experimented, coming up on a farm. In fact, she studied science in high school and in college, and
But I began my experiments
Right there in them
on the
in them
farm.
in them tobacco rows.
Well, well, my dad was a fisherman and a hunter,
Yes,
and I actually started some dissecting things
right.
when, and so I had, canning jars and formaldehyde, formaldehyde, and I was, um, perfecting my techniques
Yes.
of being precise and all that. It was really neat.
Yes.
I loved it because I was like, oh look, these are the intestines, and they're so long. And my sisters and I would say, look, here are the lungs, and my sisters would be throwing out.
They
and
would
I
be
was like,
running,
"Look,"
right?
They would. I was like, look, these are the lungs.
Yeah, she has a way of being very descriptive. And sometimes I'm like, baby, you can spare some of the detail. But she is definitely, she's definitely
I love to know how
how it works.
yeah, I want to know how it works.
Because these
yeah.
bodies we have are basically systems.
Oh, it is absolutely fascinating.
Absolutely fascinating.
If we took the time to just look at a few things,
Right.
it's just amazing how all of this
Yes.
is how it works
Yes.
and stays working together.
Right. And all this contributes to what Bob said or what Sandy said about what real wellness is or
Yes.
what's real wealth is, has to do with our spiritual awareness.
Yes.
It has to do with our intellect, that's the knowing of systems and how they work. That is the infinite or the infinite intelligence that we have, that we are part of, that is a part of our being. And then her third area had to do with, and I don't have the sheet in front of me, but
She talked about
material world.
yes.
She talked about the spiritual world, the material world, and the world of intellect. And we all have access to all of those worlds, and in a way that it is endless, in our potential
Yes.
to play in those fields
Yes.
and to utilize all of that for our best expression.
Yes.
And so she brings this science mind to my life back 31 in a few months ago. She introduced this high level of science awareness to me, and I was like,
well, we are fearfully and
yeah,
wonderfully made.
and I was like,
and
wow,
it's absolutely fascinating
yeah,
to me.
yeah.
At any rate.
So tonight we're moving into a little different discussion here, and we want to talk about support, because
Thought we'd do this in honor of Bob Proctor.
we're doing it in honor of Bob,
Yeah.
because that's what he provided to the world. He supported people in their growing,
Yes.
and their expanding, and he was all about wanting to see others achieve in life and to move towards their potential,
Yes.
and to let people know that there was no limit in what they could do. But he always knew that the block was the thinking, and so he taught these transformational principles on how to renew the mind, to get the mind to think in line with what is real, what is true, and what is infinite. So Webster defines support as to carry or to bear the weight of, to keep from falling. Support is slipping,
To keep from
falling, slipping, or
sinking.
sinking,
Mhm.
or to uphold, or to hold up.
Mhm.
Another part of that definition defines support as to give courage, to extend courage, faith, and confidence to another, and to help, or to what?
Comfort.
Or to comfort.
Mhm.
And so some synonyms to the word support is uphold, to sustain, to maintain, to advocate for, or to back up. And so in this transformation process, support comes in various forms. Would you like to read the next one?
Sure. The greatest form of support is your own willingness to give yourself over to the process.
Absolutely. That's being first thing first.
Yes.
Our personal willingness to give ourselves over to growth, give ourselves over to the process of transformation. That is the greatest support that you have. And it only takes what? A little willingness, really just a little willingness, even to ask yourself the question and to answer it. What would I love? It takes willingness to do that. And so, you know, those of you that's been with us understand that we, again, share a transformation system that starts, transformational system that starts out by having a crystal clear vision. That's where it starts. Our vision has to be crystal clear. We have to know what we want.
Yes.
If you don't know what you want, how would you know what direction to go in?
Exactly.
So that has to be first. There has to be first a willingness to give yourself over to the process. And then the next step is, what would I love? Once we've done that, then we talked about the process of testing your vision after you've had that crystal clear vision. And the process that Yolanda took, those who signed up for the calibration section, is she took their original vision as they had penned it, and she helped to calibrate it, meaning to add what?
To make certain that the
energy.
vision, that there was a vibrational match, so that there was an emotional tie-in for the vision
thing that they
had.
love, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And that the vibration of it was consistent. It was all about growth, and absolutely had to be something that would give them life.
Yes.
They had to be excited about it.
Yes.
You know, this is what I would love. Because just think about it. We say, if I could just have what I loved, okay. So you should be excited about the reality that now we know that we can use our all of our infinite intelligence, use the material world, use the spiritual world, and systematically go through a system of transformation so that we live by design and not by default. We can plan our life. It's like you plan your day. Well, you can plan your life. You can do it. You have the ability to do that.
And we want to make certain that that we are, when we're writing, and this is what we discussed in the vision workshop, when we're writing our vision, when we're writing our dream, we want to make certain that it is big enough
Yes.
that we cannot accomplish it on our own.
Right.
So we
Absolutely.
need to make certain that the dream or the vision is going to cause us to grow,
To
and
have to grow.
expand.
Right.
And the reason that we want to do that is because we're exchanging our time for this.
Absolutely.
So we want to make certain that the dream or the vision is worthy of the exchange of
your
our time.
Right. Because your dream, your vision is your life.
Yes.
It is your life. And one of the qualifying questions is, will you need help from a what? Higher power.
Higher source. That's
Yeah,
right.
because if you can just do it yourself, you've already accomplished it. Then it's just a goal.
That's right.
What we're talking about is that which is seeking to express itself through you in a grand way, so that we're not living small
That's right.
anymore.
So we want to dream beyond what we can bring about.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. And so we got this crystal clear vision. We've tested it. We've actually put it on and worn it, felt the emotions about it. How does it make you feel? You know, people that you're with, and all of the details that goes with that. And then we, because for every dream, there's a vibrational match to that dream. So we have to lift ourselves up to the vibrational match. So in other words, who do we have to become to be prepared to have this experience?
And it's not even that we're becoming that. It is that we are accepting who we are. Who
Absolutely.
We
who do we have to realize? It's a realization
Yes.
of who we already are.
Yes.
Absolutely. And we come to understand that we have more then we have more capacity
Yes.
than we think we are.
So when you talk about who do we have to become, you're actually talking about our being,
Our being, that's right.
Our essence. That's what you're talking
Absolutely,
about.
absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely. Because we are connected to the infinite. That means we have infinite potential and
Yes.
infinite capacities. And now is the time.
And the infinite is always everywhere present.
Everywhere
So it's
present.
always available.
It's always available, always present.
Always.
Yes. And so now that we're crystal clear about it, we want it, we love it, it feels good, it smells good, it tastes good, because we sensorize it using
Yes.
all of our 5 senses to put this thing on. And then now it's time to do the inner work, to tune into the frequency of who you will have to become aware of
Yes.
in your true reality, the real you, to be a match to your vision.
Yes.
And so, and so we're like moving to a next stage of transformation. We call it bridging.
Yes.
We call it bridging because we take an assessment of what our results are now, and then we look at our dream and we know that there is a gap between our results now and the results that we would love.
Yes.
So how do we navigate that gap? Well, that takes us into the next phase of transformation, which we call bridging the gap.
Mhm.
And so this is where we should consider acquiring help. And that help can come in the form of a coach or a mentor to help us navigate the gap between where our current results are and the results that we desire. Because this is where the work begins, the inner work. Because again, we have to be a vibrational match for our dream. And you guys know, like I know, that we all have a history and a conditioned past that don't serve us. And so we have to go through the process of exchanging what doesn't serve us for that which serves us.
Yes.
And so these tools that we are teaching, these transformational principles, are the tools that we've been offering you guys as a way to help you navigate that gap. And so we ask, we ask the question, why should you consider support at this time? It says that you will need support to overcome your what?
To overcome paradigms.
To overcome paradigms. And we talked about paradigms before. We say paradigms are basically patterns of thinking, and that restrict us from
accessing
access
our potential.
Yeah. Our paradigms, and again, we talked about our paradigms being basically part of the conditionings of our past, and these become what blocks to us moving effortlessly in the direction of our dream. And even with paradigms, we teach part of the transformational principle. We teach that there are 3 Ds within the paradigm idea: distractions, dissuasions, and DEFCON 1. And we all know what distractions are, right?
Yes.
No, these are things that pull us away from what we desire. And because as we move towards our dream, it requires our focus. It requires our energy and our time. So we have to decide what's important to us so that we can make our dream our priority.
Yes.
And so we have to be aware of the distractions. Secondly, dissuasions. Most dissuasions come from old thinking patterns, where I call it chatter, where we hear the chatter that comes up in our thinking about our worthiness, whether we are enough, whether we can actually have this, be this, do this, give this. So all of our old thinking patterns that have been buried in our subconscious begin to rise. Because anytime you start moving into a place of growth, your paradigm will eventually is going to rise up and say no, and it comes it comes at us in a way of a form of different forms of what we call fear.
Yes.
And so what are you going to do when your paradigms rise up? And that's the place that we know that in most cases, we need to get some help. Because I remember back in 2015 when I had a crystal clear vision of what I wanted to do, and but I didn't have the skill sets to do it. And so I was stuck. I wouldn't move. You remember?
Yes.
And so I went through a series of actions, and those actions cost me.
Oh, yes.
But now I look at them, they were investments.
Yes.
So I invested in myself, and I connected myself with mentors and coaches that could help me navigate and bridge the gap between the vision that I was seeing, because I was seeing a huge vision, and where my current results were.
Yes.
There is a difference between the facts of our life and the truth of our being. And what happens is the facts of our life start to rise up and say, you can't do this. You can't be this. You
But
can't
the-
have this
And the facts of our life are just the experiences
that we have had.
that
Yes.
we've had. They're
Yeah.
just our experiences. And those experiences do not change the truth of our being.
Right.
That's the wrestle that most of us contend with.
Right.
So the experiences that we have had do not change the essence of who we all are.
Absolutely. And so there has to be a knowing of the self.
Yes.
So in this process of transformation, a huge part of this is coming to knowing of the self, and not the self that was limited, not the self that was contractive, but this self that is expansive. And so it all gets down to our thinking. Again, we always end up with this solution being what? Focus on the thinking.
Mhm.
And so we're going to have to stick a pin in it right there, because we've come up to almost the top of the hour.
Yes.
But we're going to finish this conversation next week, talking about the importance of support. And we'll probably get into talking about some more principles on how to overcome your paradigms. And we're going to get into a little more transformational principles that we're going to share with you guys, so that we know that you are going to be well equipped to realize the life that you love.
Yes.
Thank you so much. All right.
All right.
So just a few announcements, and then we're going to be getting out of here, baby. What time were we? Okay. We can do this right quick. We have special guests that will be on the show in the next 2 months that will help expand our focus on wellness. And I've mentioned some of those. We got Jeff coming in the 18th. We got Corinne Zupko coming on
Jeff is the master
yoga.
Mhm.
We have the counselor, coach, mindfulness instructor, Corinne Zupko, that's going to be with us talking about her New York Times bestseller, From Anxiety to Love. And that's going to be on March 4th. And then in April, we're going to have a little fun. We're going to have a friend of ours, and his expression is comedic. He's a comedian, and his name is Rod of God, and because his comedy is, I guess, it's godly. That's why he calls himself Rod of God. But he's an attorney by day and a comedian by night. This is an outstanding young man, and we're going to be interviewing him, and we may even have a few laughs that night. And then down the road, we got some more dynamic guests coming on to the show. Also wanted to remind everyone, do you want to mention any of that? Those of them? And also we want to just want to let everyone know that we have added 2 more tiers to our patrons. So if you go into Patreon, or if you're not a patron, when you go in there now, you'll see 4 different tiers where you can sign up to be a patron. And so we added, we have our general patrons and our VIP patrons, And this week we just added our premier patrons, which you will get everything that the VIP patrons get, plus some added offering. And one of them, part of that offering, you'll have access to a 1-year mind training program that'll go along with all the other benefits that a VIP patron shares. And then also we added another tier that has to do with sponsorship, where that you can be a sponsor on that. And speaking of sponsorships, I just want to share something with you guys. And that reminds me. Okay, yeah, I wasn't quite prepared, was I? You know what? That might be, that could be right here. Could be right here. Okay, so we want you to watch this.
Would you look at the time? It's tax time. You already know H&R Block does taxes, but here's what you may not know when you file with H&R Block, like how you can get expert help in person or virtually. Plus, our tax pros average 10 years of experience. You can even request to work with the same tax pro every year, and your biggest possible refund is always guaranteed. No one offers more ways to help with your taxes than H&R Block. At H&R Block, help is here.
And so Chris Wilson is the owner of 14 H&R Blocks, and
he was a guest.
And he was a guest on back in
and
January.
Gave all of us
Yes.
some really good tax.
Yes.
And tax and financial
And
information.
retirement information.
Mhm.
But Chris is there with those multiple services, and he's in Durham, North Carolina, and his phone number was displayed there. So we thank Chris for being a sponsor here. Now, again, if there's any out there that had attended the vision workshop and would like a complimentary calibration session, just text 919-815-9879. Just say, yes, I would like a session. Again, that number is 919-815-9879. And so we're going to move into our last segment here, where we like
Thank
to.
you all so much
Yes.
for joining with us. We appreciate you all so much. And so we're going to do the loving kindness meditation as our blessing. The Dalai Lama's loving kindness meditation is our blessing. We bless all of you who join with us and those that you hold near and dear in your heart.
May you be truly happy.
May you live in peace.
May you live in love.
May you know the power of forgiveness.
And may you live in the recognition that your life has deep meaning and good purpose.
That's the Dalai Lama. And Oliver and I add, may you live in the awareness of who you truly are. We extend this blessing to every being that's on the face of the planet.
Yes. And so that.
And so it is.
And so it is. And that brings us to the end of our broadcast tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. Do you have any final words, sweetie?
Bye.
Bye. My name is Oliver, and this is
Yolanda.
And we are the OK Blues.
Truly, the real you loves you. Truly, the real you loves you. Truly.